Hi there, interghost here, and this is another top 10 games of a system that I own. And today's system is the original Game Boy. So all the games which came on these grey carts, not the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance, just the original. And I've done a couple of these. These aren't the top 10 games ever on the system. It's, like I said, it's the top 10 games that I own. I've got about 80 or 90 Game Boy games. So just a quick scan across. These aren't the ones which are in the list. Obviously got all the Pokemon ones there, Tetris, Star Wars, Bomb Jack, Golf, Turtles, Venture Island, Simpsons, Wave Race. Then I've got a couple of these multi-cart things, and I've got one Japanese game. Really cool little handheld system. And so we'll start straight away. I've cheated a little bit. I've got a few more than 10, but you'll see why in a minute. Well, at number 10 we have Mega Man. Now, because it's in a series, I'm not going to take up more than one slot with it, but I've got Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 3, both really good games, just like the NES games really. The only thing the reason I don't put these higher on my list is they're very hard, and I know a lot of people like these games because they're so hard and challenging, but I prefer on a handheld not to have games which are that hard, but still great games. At number 9 we've got Gremlins 2. This is a pretty cool little side-scrolling platform game where you play as Gizmo, and you have to go through collecting up different weapons and trying to defeat the Gremlins. Nice little game. At number 8 we've got Boulder Dash, which is a puzzle game. Basically you've got like a little guy, and you have to dig away the dirt, and the boulders drop down. Mustn't get crushed by the boulders, and collect up diamonds as you go along. Next one is quite an unusual one. It's called Solomon's Club. Again, it's another puzzle game. I do like a puzzle platform game. I like puzzle games on the Game Boy. They're just good to pick up and play a few levels. And this one, you basically you start off. It's a one-screen room, and you have to try and collect the key and then get out the door. And you do this by making blocks appear and disappear. Next one is DuckTales and DuckTales 2. I prefer DuckTales 2 to the first one. My car's a little bit scratched up. Again, very much like the NES games, side-scrolling platform game where you play as Scrooge McDuck, and you can hit things with your cane, or you can bounce around on it like a pogo stick. Next one, another side-scrolling game, and it's Kirby's Dream Land. if you've never played a Kirby game, basically you're that guy there, and he can suck in enemies and blow them back out, a bit like Mario with the turtles. When you jump on them you can pick them up and throw them at things, but he sucks them in and blows them back out again. You can also suck in air and float around. Now this next one, number 4 in the list, this isn't a game which is particularly that great, but the reason this is at number 4 is because this game gives me a lot of nostalgia. I can remember back in the day when my friend got a Game Boy for Christmas, and he got some money to go and buy a game, so we went down to Toys R Us, and there wasn't a huge selection of games, but I basically decided that he would get this game. He was having a bit of trouble choosing, and I said, I'll get that one, it looks good from the artwork and the pictures on the back of the box, and he did. And the music on the game always triggers off a lot of nostalgia for me as well. It's a side-scrolling game again, and you have a sword and you have to jump platforms and kill monsters. Number 3, brilliant game, another puzzle game, side-scrolling, Donkey Kong. You play as Mario, and it starts off like the original Donkey Kong game, with the barrels rolling down, you have to climb up the ladders and jump over the barrels, but quickly changes into a game where you have to find your way through the platforms, collecting keys, solving puzzles, and getting to the top to defeat Donkey Kong. Number 2, now this is another series of games, and it's Mario Land. 1, 2 and 3 goes into Wario Land. Didn't particularly like the third one in the series. The second one is my favourite. Very much, well, it plays like a Nintendo or Super Nintendo Mario game, and you have to go through all the levels collecting up to 6 golden coins. You've got bunny ear hat, which makes you fly, which is really cool. And it just feels like really much like a 16-bit Mario game, but on the Game Boy. And also Mario Land, classic, very nostalgic game for the Game Boy. And at number 1, won't surprise anybody, but it's Zelda Link's Awakening. Now this game is one of the best Zelda games in my opinion, only beaten by the Super Nintendo game. This is very much like the Super Nintendo game, same style graphics, obviously it's all in black and white or different shades of green, but plays really, really well, got a really cool story. If you've never played this Zelda game, I would highly recommend that you pick it up. So there we go, that's my top 10 games that I own for the Game Boy. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching.